from Kano State. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir, popularly known as Abba Gida. He's here being very ably represented here this morning by Engineer Marwan Ahmed Aminu, representing His Excellency, the Executive Governor. You're welcome, sir. Yeah, how are you, Kano? This program will very shortly be commencing. We will not want a situation where we have to be shouting and pleading with people to be seated. Kindly find a place to sit now, except you are a part of the organizing committee and you have a compelling reason why you have to be standing or walking around. Every other person, please kindly find a place to sit, especially those at the center part there. Find a place to sit. We will very soon be starting this program. His Excellency the Executive Governor will be joining us very, very shortly. Please let us be seated. Thank you. you have every reason and you need to use the convenience. You just walk to the back of the hall. By my right hand side, there are conveniences available where you can go to. Of course, for those that are in the front row, there is another one upstairs. And if you need to ask for anything, you will see some young girls in white and blue. They are ushers. You can call on any of them and pass whatever request you have. I also like to welcome and recognize the presence of Engineer Bukar, retired permanent secretary, and the immediate elder brother and the head of the Kam-Selem family, who is here this morning, feeling very proud because their son is being invested as the president of the Association of Consulting Engineering in Nigeria. Engineer Bukar, you are welcome. And to every other family member of the Kam-Selem family that are here this morning, I'd like to say welcome to all of them. And by the same extension, to all the people from Burma who are here this morning, you are all welcome. Yes, somebody's against we also have joining us the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, ably represented by Engineer Mohammed Kabir, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers and a member Board of Fellows of the Institute. And we also have the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineering, represented by Engineer Kano, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. Of course, this is an engineering occasion, and we have an array of engineers. At the appropriate time, my co-MC, Faithful, will be recognizing each and every one of the engineers that are here this morning. That will be done when the program commences in earnest. I'd like to also recognize one of the members of the Borno State Executive Council that has joined us, the Honorable Commissioner of Water Resources, Engineer Tijani Akani, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, FNICE. Engineer Tijani Akani, you are welcome. I was just saying before that announcement that later on in the program, after I've done the initial protocols, Faith is going to be coming up to specifically recognize all the engineers that are here by name. She has that. She's very competent with everything in the engineering spectrum, so she will do the recognitions at the appropriate time. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we are waiting for the commencement of this program is already on us. I'd like once again to urge everybody to be seated. Please be seated. Be seated, please. If you do not have a place, find a place. Please.
They're using that side. He's using that side. That side. He's using that side.
Yeah, it's coming from that side.
Confirm, can hear you. I can hear you.
Shall we rise now, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome His Excellency the Deputy Governor of the State, Honorable Usman. Please let's continue to stand as we take the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, everybody. Let us take our seats. Thank you. Please, everybody, kindly find a place to sit. As the program continues, we wouldn't want to be distracted by people moving up and down. Kindly find a place to sit. And as we are seated, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take the opening Fatiha. And I'd like to invite the Chief Imam of Borno State, Imam Ibrahim Ahmed, to give us the opening Fatiha. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Usman, CON FNICE, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, Fellow Nigerian Society, Institution of Agricultural Engineers, GCO Chairman of his Governors Forum, they are most capably represented here this morning by His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Honorable Usman, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, represented here this morning by Engineer Marwan Ahmed Aminu, the chairman of the occasion, Engineer Mohamed Abagana, former minister, commander of all of the Niger Federal Engr Society of Engineers, honorable members of the State House of Assembly here present, the Secretary to the Borno State Government, Honorable Bukar, the head of service, Barrister Malam Fanami MNI, His Royal Shehu Borno, Alhaji Dr. Abubakar Ibiwa Garwe Alamin Al-Kanemi CFR, represented by Kegama Gatima, the Kegama of Borno, His Royal Shehu Obama, Alhaji Dr. Umar Rimal El-Kanemi, honorable commissioners that are here present, the President of the Engr Society of Engineers, represented by the Deputy President, Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, fellow Engr Society of Engineers and fellow Academy of Engineering, the President of Korea, Engineer Professor Sadiq Zubair Abubakar, FNSE FA Engineer, represented by the Registrar, Engineer Professor Adisade Malabelo, FNSE FA. The President of ACEN, Engineer Kam-Selem Bukar, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, FNICE, FNIHTE, M.ASCE. The past President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Abubakar Mohammed, the 19th and 20th President of ACEN, the Chairman of the Investiture Planning Committee, Engineer Suleiman Hussein Adamu, fellow Engr Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, commander of the Order of the Niger, Galadiman Kuzaure, Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee, Engineer Mohamed Abbasanda, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, District Head of Yerwa, member Borno Emirate Council, the guest lecturer, Engineer Umar B. Bender, the Grand Mufti of Adamawa, the Managing Director, CEO of the Northeast Development Commission, Alhaji Mohamed Goni Al-Kali, represented here by Engineer Professor Abba Gana Mohamed, Senior Technical Assistant, the keynote speaker, Engineer K. Adeola, FNSE FA Engineer, past President of ACEN, Special Advisors to His Excellency the Executive Governor, Permanent Secretaries and the Civil Service, Chief Executive of Board of Paris Status, gentlemen of the Fourth Estate of the realm, ladies and gentlemen. This morning we are gathered for an occasion that has a very, very important dimension for us here in Borno State and indeed in Nigeria in the engineering profession. Today we are witnessing the investiture of a prominent and a distinguished son of Borno, Engineer Kam-Selem Bukar, as the national president, the 20th of the Association for Consulting Engineering in Nigeria. We are all gathered here therefore for this occasion, which does not come all the time, but it's something that when it comes, we'd like to keep it in your memory for a very long time to come. And I'm sure we are in Borno really proud of the Association for Consulting Engineering in Nigeria for having chosen a distinguished son of Borno to be the 20th president. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are here. But before we go on in the program, there are an array of engineers and other distinguished guests here this morning that needs to be recognized. Of course, I am anchoring this occasion together with Faith. And Faith will be coming up shortly now to introduce all the major participants in the engineering profession that are here this morning for this occasion before we go on to the welcome address. It is now my pleasure to invite my co-anchor, Faith Oche, a dazzling lady that has come all the way from Abuja to compliment my handling of this program, who I'm sure is ready now to come forward to introduce the players of the engineering profession that are here. Faith, the people are ready to meet you. Are you ready?
Very well, thank you. If you're delighted to see me here this morning, please give me a round of applause. Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, my name is Faith Oche, and I've had a very good time so far in Maiduguri. Thank you for your warm welcome. So very quickly, I would like to start by introducing none other than the reason for whom we are gathered here this morning. I'll start by recognizing the President. The President, please you can start clapping before I continue. The President of the Association for Consulting Engineering in Nigeria, who is none other than Engineer Kam-Selem Bukar. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers. And he's a member of the American Society of Civil Engineers. I think he deserves a more resounding applause. Thank you very much. I'd like to also very warmly welcome this morning the Vice President of ACEN, who is none other than Engineer Kunle Adepa. Please give him a round of applause. Can we meet you, sir? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to also recognize the presence of the immediate past president of the Association for Consulting Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer F. Is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Let's give him a round of applause. I'd like to also recognize the past presidents of ACEN that are here present with us. I'll start off by recognizing the only past president that has been a female, none other than Engineer Mrs. Maiduguri. She's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Academy of Engineering. Please give her a better round of applause. Mommy will absolutely stop this on the board. Next up, I'd like to recognize our keynote speaker for today's event, and the past president of Engineer K.A. He's also a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Academy of Engineering. Next up, I would like to recognize Engineer Nuruddin Rafi Dali, a past president of ACEN, and also a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of the Academy of Engineering. And lastly, among the past presidents here, I would like to recognize Engineer Charles Sidede Akindayomi. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. The amiable wife of the president is here with members of his family. Please, if you are here and you are delighted to be here to celebrate and you appreciate members of his family, please give his wife a resounding applause. Do it in an engineering way. Other members of his family here present, please rise for recognition and let us appreciate you. Thank you, and happy congratulations to you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very quickly, I would also like to recognize other executives of ACEN here present. We have Engineer Dr. Lawal Salis, who is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Welcome, sir. Please give him a round of applause. We have Engineer we have Engineer M.P. Shehu, who is a Shetima. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please give him a round of applause. I'm sure he's somewhere around. We have Engineer Kamil. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Welcome, sir. We have Engineer Elias Ababiaka, FNICE. Please give him a round of applause. Welcome, sir. We have here present also Engineer Benga Ajayi. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. We also have here present Engineer Sam Otenaife. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I would also like to recognize the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina Wutala, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who is ably represented here this morning by the Deputy President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who is none other than Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's a fellow of the Academy of Engineering. He's a member of of the Federal Republic. He's a fellow Nigerian Institute of Management, and he's a fellow American Society of Civil Engineers, and the immediate past president of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. Please give him a better round of applause. Thank you very much. I would like to recognize this morning the chairman, the national chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. He's often called the VC without a university. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Engineer VC Ezeugo. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. Please give him another round of applause. Thank you. And you'll argue with me that it's not easy to put an event like this together. Some people have worked round the clock to ensure that this event today flows seamlessly. So I would like to humbly appeal that you give me your time so that we recognize members of the Investiture Planning Committee. Okay, due to brevity of time, I won't be able to call every one of them by their names, but I would like to humbly appeal that all of the members of the Investiture Planning Committee, both the Central Committee and the Local Organizing Committee, should rise for recognition. Please, as they're rising, let's keep clapping as they all rise. Please, members of the Investiture Planning Committee and both the Central and the Local Organizing Committee, I think they deserve a more resounding applause. Thank you very much, everyone. Please be seated. Thank you. Okay. We also have the representative of the chairman of Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, Builder Samson A. of Halua. He's ably represented here this morning by Builder Dr. Samaila Adamu, a council member, Northeast. If you're here, please stand for recognition. Thank you, and we appreciate your coming. We also have representing the Executive Secretary of the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, Engineer M.ASCE, the fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and is the Director of the Department of Mass Housing, IPPP, FCDA. If you're here present, thank you for being here, sir. Also from FCDA, we have Director of Procurement, QS Salimon Rashid. If you're here, please, let's meet you. Thank you so much. Give them a round of applause. We also have the past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers here present, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. We also have here present with us Engineer Umar Abodibri, FNSE OOM. He's a former Executive Secretary of FCDA. He's here with his amiable wife. Please can we have you stand for recognition? Thank you very much. As we go on in the event, we'll continue to take recognitions. Thank you so much, but I'd like you all to know that it takes a lot of time to draw out a list of protocol, and due to brevity of time, we won't be able to recognize everyone of you. That takes nothing away from the importance that is placed on everyone that is here present. So if you're here and you're delighted to be here, please give yourself a round of applause. For yourself, I didn't say for me. This time around it's for yourself. Thank you so very much. Moving on very quickly, we're going to the program of today's event. As I welcome for, can we have some silence in the house? Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, we're going to the program of today's event. As I welcome for his welcome address, none other than the chairman of the occasion, Engineer Mohammed Abagana, CON, FNSE, the former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and the doyen of the engineering profession. A round of applause for him, please.
As chairman of this occasion, I would like to just make a brief statement. But before I proceed to my brief statement, I would like to really request for forgiveness from the audience to know that I am now 80 years plus. For this reason, my memory, coordinating ability, and the response and so on is not optimal as before. So, you should forgive all lapses. Let me say right from the beginning that I am really very pleased to welcome this very special age of distinguished engineers to Maiduguri, the Borno, the famous Borno State capital city, home of peace and culture, of Kano culture and civilization. Borno State has always produced distinguished and very patriotic engineers. Our current governor of Borno State, the untiring Professor Bukar leads the pack. Despite the Boko Haram insurgency, he is always determined in doing his best to bring peace, unity, development, and prosperity to Borno State. May Allah continue to grant him the wisdom and the ability to take Borno to greater heights. Another famous civil engineer from Borno State and founder of the well-known consulting firm Sani Mustafa Associates was late engineer Mustafa Gulama. He was second to none among his peers. He was a former president of both foreign and the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and died while still serving as current president. Many engineers, including the new president, were employed by the firm and received his invaluable mentorship. to all our departed colleagues and elder engineers, may the Almighty Allah forgive their shortcomings and grant them the highest station in paradise. Amen. We are gathered here today on the invitation of ACEN for the benefit of our friends who are not engineers. Let us ask the question, who is a consultant? The Oxford Dictionary defined a consultant as a specialist or expert in his or her chosen area of specialization on or profession. It is generally assumed that the consultant is more learned or informed than his or her client in knowledge, expertise, skills, experience, professional capacity, to analyze, design, and supervise large and complex projects to the satisfaction of clients and stakeholders. The reality on the ground is that the era of handling large and complex projects in-house in both the public and private sector is over. This is because good and experienced consultants earn much more on their own than being an employee of any organization in the public or private sector. With the dwindling external reserve and declining and unstable crude oil prices and the dollar exchanging for almost 2,000 naira, we must protect the services sector of our economy because it is rather reckless and unpatriotic to engage consultants from abroad and pay them in dollars when Nigerian consultants that can equally undertake the projects are paid in naira. For the good of our economy, at least up to 90% of consultancy services should go to indigenous consultants. They say, strike the iron when it is hot, then you can bend it and shape it. The structure of our economy is unfortunately increasing poverty, inequality in income, inequality in income, and unemployment. This is resulting in a situation where some few privileged citizens own 99% of the wealth of the nation. This is why we have the gross poverty dichotomy. And if you have gross poverty dichotomy, the GDP increases, but it does not reach out to a lot of other people. Only few, Kalilan group get the benefit. So this is really not a structure we should continue with. Because more people becoming poorer and unemployed and hungry is very, very dangerous. I was reading some few days ago that some people help themselves to Dangote truck going to casino, and so this sort of thing may continue. So a hungry man is an angry man. So any economy that increases the number of hungry people, I think is not a good economy. They say you strike the, no, no, yes, yes, a word or two about market forces. We know that market forces are not visible or tangible. We also know that market forces are not accountable to anything or anybody. They also do not contest election. Why then do we have to subject the security and the welfare of more than 200 million Nigerians to market forces alone? All over the world, governments act in the interest of their national security and national interest. Why is our country different? Definitely something is amiss. You know, the Americans all over the world are shouting on America, but they are always acting in their national interest. They don't listen to anybody. But here we are. We are not acting in our national interest. We are acting in the interest of other forces outside our shores. So something is very, very, does not add up anyway. Finally, in my view, the Nigerian economy is now in a neoliberal black hole. You know, black hole. It sucks everything. So we are now in neoliberal black hole. This is the reason why every attempt the government is making makes things worse. So we have to be very, very careful. Now, I would suggest that we need to change the economic model we have. This economic model, which we have been doing for the last 8 or 9 or 10 years, has made Nigeria the poverty capital of the world. You can't be doing a policy which increases the number of poor people every year, and you continue with it, you stop and ask something is amiss. So I am suggesting that I think we need the mixed economy model led by government to provide massive economic and industrial infrastructure and agricultural revival to get out of the dangerous neoliberal black hole. No country in the world has privatized all the commanding heights of their economy as Nigeria has unwisely done. South Africa, Ethiopia, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, and others all refused. But Nigeria agreed. Why? Whose interest is the policymakers or are the policymakers serving? So I think we can save our country and its economy only if we prioritize on our national interest and national security as other countries are doing.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you all for your attention.
Can we give the elder statesman a round of applause? Thank you. They say the words of our elders are words of wisdom, and we have indeed heard the words of an elder statesman. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, ably represented by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, distinguished members of the high table, ladies and gentlemen. As we move now to the next item, permit me to quickly recognize Engineer Dr. Aishetu Ali Umar, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, FNILE, who is the African representative of the World Council of Civil Engineers and former national chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Civil Engineers, 3 times president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you. Similarly, let me also recognize Quantity Surveyor Rabiu Garbato, Permanent Secretary, Yobe State Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, representing the President of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, in person of QS Kenesiun Zekwe, FNIQS. Thank you. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next item on our program, which I'm sure you all have, is the keynote address. But before we take the keynote address, permit me to briefly run through the citation of our keynote lecturer in the person of Engineer K. Adeola, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, past President ACEN, Chairman, Comprehensive Project Management Services. Can I ask the guest speaker to kindly rise as I read a citation? Engineer K.A. Adeola. Can you come to the center, sir? Thank you. You may want to face. Thank you, sir. Bayo Adeola attended King's College, Lagos from 1965 to 1971, where he obtained his WASC and HSC. He had his engineering education at the University of Lagos, 1972 to 75, and the Imperial College, University of London, 77-78. He had his earlier career as a civil structural engineer at ADME Ogundipe and Partners, later AOP Consol Limited, where he rose to the position of a partner in 1984. As a partner, he pioneered the Department of Project Management and obtained his PMB certificate in 1997. I'm abridging the citation because it's really much. Bayo is passionate about project management and delivers lectures regularly on the subject. In addition to CPMS offering regular project management training, he also taught project management at the Lagos Business School from 1993 to 2019. He published a book titled Principles and Practice of Project Management in 2019. He has been very active in professional services, both locally and internationally. Locally, he was secretary of the Association of Consulting Engineers for several years and president from 2008 to 2009. He is currently the chairman of ACEN Endowment Fund. And on the African stage, he served as the honorary secretary of the Group of African Members Association of FIDIC from 1998 to 2003. On the global stage, he served on several working committees of the International Federation of Consulting Engineers, FIDIC, and was elected to his executive committee for the period 2003 to 2007. In business life, Bayo is currently the chairman of Comprehensive Project Management Services Limited, the company he founded himself. He has also served on other boards, including AOP Consol Limited from 1984 to 1997, UTC PLC from 2005 to 2015, Crystal Laurel Limited, where he was chairman from 2003 to 2013, among many others. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer K. Adeola, FNSE, Fellow of the Academy of Engineering, who is our guest speaker, our keynote speaker. Your Excellency, I now most respectfully invite the keynote address presenter to kindly come to the microphone and deliver the keynote address. Engineer Bayo Adeola.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, the chairman of the occasion. When the chairman was speaking, he started by apologizing for his age and diction. But by the time he finished reading his speech, I was praying that by the time I'm his age, I am able to do the same. Thank you very much, sir. for your wonderful presentation. I know that when you were my age, you were much smarter and smoother and brilliant than anything I can say today. Thank you very much indeed. We were privileged to visit the palace of the Sheikh of Borno, and it was a privilege. And therefore, as part of the protocol, I feel that it is important that I acknowledge and thank the Sheikh for his very, very warm reception for the engineering community yesterday. Thank you all. And to all the Kanuris here, because that point was made yesterday, I do not know how to greet you in Granuri, but I can say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have 15 minutes to address you. That is what I've been given, and I do not intend to spend any more than that. What is the work of a keynote speaker? The responsibility of a keynote speaker is to give context to the event so that the people in the audience can understand why we are here, what we are here for, and therefore be able to flow with the events as they unfold. So why are we here? We're here for the investiture of, from the engineering community point of view, our own colleague, who is now becoming our own leader. From the Borno people, your son, a husband, a brother, a friend. We're here to honor him because he's going to assume the duty as the president of the Association of Consulting Engineers. And his time will come in the next 20, 30 minutes where proper tribute will be played to him. But that is what we're doing. Why are we doing it? Because every 2 years, somebody who is senior, who is accomplished, and who is recognized by his own peers rises to the stature of being a president, and we elect him as our president, and it is usually unanimous. And Kam-Selem, having given a great account of himself over the last 10 years and more, has been found worthy by the total family of ACEN as deserving to be our president. That is why we are here. But then what organization is he going to head? After all, anybody can be put here and we can clap for them because they've been appointed to some post of responsibility. So my next explanation is to say and explain to you what consulting engineering is all about, so that you can understand that the responsibility that your son, your brother, your husband, your uncle, the responsibility that we are trusting upon him. Today is the honoring period. The next 2 years is the hard work period. So clap for him today. Let him enjoy today. But for the next 2 years, we are going to continue to demand. And the thing is that we are also confident that he will deliver. We have no iota of doubt in our mind. Perhaps the least understood profession in Nigeria is the engineering profession. Why? Because it is ubiquitous. It is everywhere. Everybody is an engineer. And therefore, people don't know what engineers are, how we are organized, how we are structured, and what we do. They don't know. When you say you're a doctor, they understand. When you say you are a lawyer, they understand. I guess when you say you're a politician, they understand. But when you say you are an engineer, are you a mechanic? Are you a welder? What are you? So I'm going to try in a short time to explain what engineers do to you. There are three groups of things in nature. The things that God created and don't change in whatever form. The tree grows, human beings, rivers flow. All of these things happen, and they were made by the Almighty. There are other things that the Almighty allows us to nurture. In agriculture, we plant things and we grow things. So human beings take what God has created and nurture it. Therefore, you can take a forest, clear it, and make it a palm forest. It wasn't a natural palm forest. Human beings can make it a palm forest. But there is this group of things that are hidden in God's creation. All the ingredients to make them are there, but they are not self-evident. The engineer goes to take all these forces that are created and are there, created by God, but they are not in the mode that we use it. And the engineer brings them together and creates new products for the convenience of man. That's what we do. Take a motor car. A motor car is not naturally existing. What is naturally existing is a horse. Yeah, an ass, a donkey. So if you want to transport yourself using nature, you will use horses and you will use donkeys and you will use all those things that nature gives you in the form that you can use them. But if you want to ride a bicycle, nature didn't give you bicycle as a bicycle. Human beings have to make bicycles. But all the ingredients to make bicycles were given to you by God. But it is left to us to see it and understand it. That's what engineers do. So every convenience that you have, every one that you have, that is not naturally given to you is made by the engineer. Everyone. We're able to sit here today, a lot of us, in a closed room. How are we breathing? Where does the air come from? Where's air conditioning? Where is voice? Where is everything? They are made by engineers. So engineers convert the forces of nature for the use of mankind. That is what we do. So I'm hoping that those of you who are not engineers, when you live here today, you will have at least a better understanding of what we do. So we make a tremendous amount of contribution to life on a daily basis, yet we are not doctors. How? If you do not treat the water that you drink, you can't drink it. Doctors don't do water treatment plants. Engineers do. If you do not manufacture the drugs that you use for your ailment, you will not get well. Doctors don't manufacture drugs. Engineers do. You're a town planner, it's okay. Town planners don't build houses. Engineers do. Engineers manufacture cars. We do everything. So you need to understand that. Now, how do we organize ourselves so that we can do these things? We organize ourselves in layers. At the lowest end of engineering are the craftsmen, the artisans, the bricklayers, the welders. They are the ones who put materials together so that we can get the things that we want to do. We cannot build a house without bricklayers. We cannot build a house without iron benders. We cannot build a house without electricians. So they are part and parcel of the engineering family, and there is really no discrimination. They are there, and they are important. And you must know that they are important, and the contents in which they are important. So those ones are very important. But at the highest level are those who conceive of what the world should be. What is next? What should we do? How should we do it? They are the thinkers of the engineering profession. They are those who think and create from idea. Once they think and they identify what is important and they have the idea, Then they design it. Then they give you the prototype to fabricate it. Then we give them to either the contractor or the manufacturers. Those people who think through things, conceive them, design them, specify them, and supervise their production, and the people we call consulting engineers. The chairman explained it for me by quoting from the Oxford Dictionary. Thank you, sir, for leading me in this discourse. So that is the team that Kam-Selem is going to lead. Those who think through things, create things, make them happen, and ensure that they are done. That is the consulting engineer. So the Association for Consulting Engineering in Nigeria is the association that Kam-Selem is leading. And we're a group of people who think through things, design things, supervise things, and make sure that you get what is good for you. That's what we do. I am proceeding into the last 3 minutes of my presentation. So, but why is this important? Because our local governments don't know what we do, so they don't use us. So when they want to do a drainage, they use common sense to say, put gutter there. Whereas there are these people here who can help you to look at the area and tell you how the drainage should be built, how it should be designed, how is it that you should do it that it will work. But somehow or the other, they think they don't need us. And we end up doing drainages that don't work. People think they can build houses by going directly to the bricklayer or to the carpenter, and they don't think that somebody needs to think through it. They say, no, you are going to the Oimbo people, they will just charge you money. Yes, we will charge you money, but by charging you ₦1 million, say, we will protect your 100 million naira investment and ensure that your 100 million naira investment doesn't go to waste and it endures and gives you the value that you want. By bypassing us, you spend not 100 million, maybe 90, 85 million because you think you have saved money, but you will not get any output out of it. So you will have thrown 85 million down the drain. There is no, most of the engineering problems in Nigeria have solutions in engineering. And those solutions are within the ambit of the Nigerian engineers. But we are not able to communicate with our political class, from local government to state government to federal government. When they want to think, like the chairman said, they go outside, as if Nigerians cannot think. And the other end says, we don't need to think. So they don't use, so we are just sandwiched in the middle. And from time to time, we have some of us who understand us, who give us little windows. In the last 20 years, we've been using an economic model, like the chairman said, that has not worked. The solution is production, making things ourselves. At the heart of production, making things ourselves, is the engineer. And to lead the engineering group to make things and save the Nigerian economy is the consulting engineer. That is the responsibility that we are giving Kam-Selem. May the Almighty Allah abide with you and let you to give a good account of yourself. Thank you very much indeed.
I think he deserves a better round of applause. Thank you very much, our keynote speaker, Engineer K.A. Adiola, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering. He's always a delight to listen to. You have something to take home each time you listen to Engineer Adiola speak. And so I'm sure everyone has something to take home. I've learned that engineers do pretty much everything. They combat the forces of nature for the use of mankind. So let's put our hands together for all the engineers present in the house this afternoon. Thank you so much. Moving on very quickly, we're going to be taking the remark by the outgoing president of ACEN. It is therefore my singular honor and privilege to invite up to the podium Engineer Ajibade, okay, FNSE. Please put your hands together for him. Can we keep clapping until he gets here? Thank you.
The chairman of the occasion, the governor, represented by the deputy governor, who himself is worthy of protocol, the sheikhs of Borno and Bama, all heads of engineering institutions that are present, all past presidents of ACEN are present, ESCO members of ACEN are present. The protocol is quite rich and very, very long. So I will seize the indulgence to please recognize and stand by all the protocols as enumerated. It is always a difficult thing to talk after Bayo Adiola has talked. I think he has a master's in engineering, but a PhD in speeches. But thank God, I'm not talking of the same thing with him. He has led what we are going to do today, and I thank him for that privilege. Thank God, the Almighty Allah, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for giving us this day. We thank him for bringing us together safely, and we pray that all of us return to our various destinations safely. I feel very happy for a successful (2022 and 23) of ACEN. The period showed me that there are quite a lot of intellects in ACEN, and they are dedicated people. I appreciate the Council of ACEN, the ESCO, the past presidents, in charge of and that are still in charge of ACEN. And therefore, it is quite necessary to say, my brother, Kam-Selem, we have worked together for quite some years, and like he said, we know what you are able to deliver. I particularly will recognize that you are there for me. You did not say, let this one be bad so that they can see me to be good. We work together. And by God's grace, we shall continue to work together. Well, my journey with ACEN started in 2007 when the then president, Engineer Mrs. Mayen Adetiba, and her deputy, late Engineer Dr. Temilola Kehinde, invited me to be the executive secretary of ACEN. Well, I took this responsibility and worked for Engineer Adetiba's year. But after Engineer Adetiba, we had Engineer Bayo Adiola taking over, and I continued to work with him. But like he would say, we were to determine what is our purpose in life. And my purpose was to move out. And I resigned in June 2008 while he was still in prison. In fact, he wasn't around because I couldn't face him. So he got my letter of resignation when he came back. But I decided to continue as the honorary secretary to him until the end of his tenure in 2019. I therefore worked with his successor, Engineer Kunle Ogunbayo, Engineer Rafin Dadi, as their treasurers. But when my friend Temilola Kende became the president, he deliberately decided that my job was not in the council. And therefore I was out of the council, and I was made the chairman of his investiture, chairman of some books he was getting together. But I was busy. So the following year, I came up to become the advisor to the board of, or the council of ACEN, while representing Engineer Adamu Suleiman, who actually became a minister immediately he was made president. Well, after that, I worked with, I became again treasurer to Engineer Charles Akindayomi before becoming the vice president for Engineer George Okuruma. And thank you very much, ACEN. You eventually considered me fit enough to be president 2022 to 2023. Apart from these positions, I was also organizing AGMs, EGMs for ACEN. I was the editorial board chairman until I became the vice president. Now all this, I can say, were preparing me to know more about ACEN and know their strengths and the weaknesses. And I'm very happy that I was able to produce my roadmap for the organization. In the course of duty, I have many people that nurtured me, and I have many people that I would like to thank. The past presidents, the doyen, that is Engineer Dr. Folayon, Engineer Adiola, and all that have made me whom I am in ACEN. I would like to say that ACEN is a person taking over from me, again, to thank. I have our treasurer, who is now the VP, Adebajo. I have him to thank. So we have so many people that we are grateful for. But the major thing is we are grateful to ACEN for giving us the opportunity to serve. My MD, Engineer Kalejaye, you showed great commitment. I would like to read this one through because I'm really convinced I need to talk about him. Please, Engineer Kalejaye, wherever you are, can you stand up for proper recognition? Okay, please boom on him. Camera should boom on him. Where is he? Yes. Yes, you showed great commitment to duty, high level of understanding, and good knowledge of what was required of you. I am pleased we were on the same frequency. I attended all your monthly management meetings and cannot but appreciate your managerial skills. Thanks for your dedication and service. You and I work together to instill team spirits on the members of staff to the extent that each one of them now knows a little bit about what others are doing and can be made to represent the other people. When you have 10 people and each one of them is really committed, it is the sign of whoever the leaders are. I thank you very much. Unfortunately, you're leaving us, and we are having a new MD. Thank God, the little we have known about the new MD and the fact that he had been a member of the engineering community for quite a bit of time gave us the confidence that we are not going to have any problem with her. But be it as it may, a new person is still a new person. And when a new person is in, and we have another key member of staff that is leaving, it leaves my new president a little bit of problems. But I am promising that you are going to have me as another leg that you can rely upon. All members of staff of ACEN, both that are here or not, they are well recognized, and I thank them. They were able to adapt to changing environment, and that is quite unique. They now became one bunch. They work together, they talk together, and they get stuck together. Thank you very much for the support. Of course, I thank my family. The names are written, but it's okay. Well, we started the year with a superb investiture anchored by past President Ogumbayo. I acknowledge the support of the governments of Lagos and Oyo states. We, the MD and I, went straight into staff matters, realigning and reorienting them. Our past president, Charles Yele Akindayomi, was busy with his team, which also included me at that time, preparing for the FIDIC Africa conference. My past president, Akindayomi, did a yeoman's job, and we had a very successful outing, and we really worked very hard. Well, we didn't make much money. In fact, we didn't even make money, but we deliberately did so because exchange rate was making it impossible for our local people to participate. And so we ended up lowering the gates, and that actually robbed away our profits, or whatever we can have a surplus. We had a good FIDIC conference organization, and it was, in fact, a reference to others. We were told that we have paid what others should try to beat. The 2023 FIDIC Africa Conference, we were there in good show, and we have 5 of our members presenting papers. And we also collaborated with the local organizing committee in that they reached out to us and we gave them all necessary support. We decided to take ACEN meetings, business meetings, to the zones. And that was a real innovation that we put in there. So in 2022, we were in zone 1, we were in zone 4, we were in zone 3, and we were in zone 6. By the way, zone 1 anchored in Lagos, zone 2 in Maiduguri here, we were here. And zone 3, Abuja, and zone 6, Port Harcourt. I thank all the coordinators, Engineers Ogunosi, MB Shetima, Engineer Moore, and Engineer Opalua. They had elaborate arrangements, and they were successful, very successful, and okay. So in 2023 again, the other zones where we were not, we were there. And we thank all the people that took us into it. Now, taking the business evening to the zones made us know that we can do a lot without relying on our traditional Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. So we had an AGM in Ibadan that was successful, very successful, and all the AGMs we did, all the EGMs we did in Port Harcourt were also very successful. I would like to continuously thank past President Adamu Suleiman for securing a piece of land for us in Abuja, and we are already on the move to making it a reality. In addition, the first edition of our consulting engineering in Nigeria was launched, and I thank Engineer Mayor Aditiba for doing the launching at an impromptu call, and we had a good outing on it. The ACEN magazine came up 6 times out of 8 because the condition of the country is affecting people to pay for us. We did some training, and the biggest one was the one that Engineer Nuruddin Rafindadi arranged for us with FEMA, which was quite very successful and was good. We also did some FIDIC training. Unfortunately, we couldn't make money from them because we calculated on the old rate, and by the time we are on it, we had to pay all our forex, all our foreign exchange content in the new rate, which was about 3 times the old rate. Well, ACEN has been successful, and I was invited to the current of to the Council of Current. I thank my past president of Current for the success I made while in there, and later on I was made to be the chairman of the Regulatory Monitoring and Enforcement. I was called to the Council of Nigerian Society of Engineers, and we attended. We had good relationship with all other professional bodies, and the architects, the town planners, the quantity surveyors, we honored all their invitations, and we presented papers, and we did quite a lot for them. Our finances look very good if you look at the present situation, but the current situation. But if you factor what we need to put in there, you will find out that we are seriously in their need of cash. So we need to jack up our membership, and well, I've had enough of time. But all the way, let me conclude by saying we have run our race with the best of the body and soul. We are leaving ACEN on the path of growth. I will work again, I'm saying so, well with my successors, and surely ACEN will excel. Thank you very much.
He has indeed run his race and finished gloriously. Please give him another round of applause. Thank you very much. Moving on very quickly, we're going to right now take the investiture lecture, and it is my singular honor and privilege to invite up to the fore none other than Engineer Dr. Umar Buba Bindir, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Academy of Engineering. Please give him a round of applause as he comes to the fore while I take his citation. Thank you very much, sir. Engineer Umar Buba Bindir, a Fulani man, was born in Yola Town, Adamawa State, Nigeria. He had his basic education in Yola Town and graduated from the high-ranking Nigeria University of Maiduguri with a first-class honors degree in agricultural technology in 1983. He has a master's and doctorate degrees from the prestigious Cranfield Institute of Technology, now Cranfield University in the United Kingdom, UK. He professionalized as an agricultural machinery design and development engineer in 1987 and 1991, respectively. Engineer Bindir has numerous professional qualifications and awards, including Chartered Engineer UK, current registered in Nigeria, Fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, Fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers, Fellow of the Solar Energy Society of Nigeria, and National Productivity Order of Merit awardee. Engineer Bindir has earned several national and international awards with a wide technical working experience in Nigeria, United Kingdom, and the Oceania. Please give him a round of applause for those. He has served in the academia, worked in the industry, was a director for many years in the mainstream Nigerian Federal Civil Service. He was the immediate past Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, the main institution regulating and promoting industrial property and technology transfer in Nigeria from 2009 to 2015. Dr. Bindir was also a secretary to the government of Adamawa State from 2015 to 2019. In 2020, he was appointed as the Director of Innovation and Research at the Air Force Institute of Technology, Kaduna. In 2020, he also served as a special assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on social investment and was appointed as the national coordinator of the National Social Investment Program by the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development from 2020 till May 2023. Currently, Engineer Bindir serves as the founder and chairman of the Bindir Knowledge Center, located in Yola Town, Adamawa State. BKC is a non-governmental organization established to support children in school and out of school and youth to acquire modern knowledge in both education and entrepreneurship. Engineer Bindir is a thorough technology penetration expert, and an accomplished engineer. His ingenuity and exquisite skills in ideas generation and innovation project development and implementation easily stands him out in all his places of primary assignment. As the then Director General and Chief Executive Officer of NOTAB, he was the driving force behind the national policies and strategies aimed to link academia and industry for socio-economic development. He is still a leading expert on the strategy to develop science and technology parks and clusters in Nigeria. Engineer Bindir's passion mainly lies in solving poverty challenges through the development of technology-based capacity and empowerment know-how. He believes that Nigeria will ultimately industrialize through timely acquisition and development of relevant technologies and innovations into its economy. This technocrat is one of the longest serving yearly invited lecturers at the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDC, the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, JAGI, etc., spanning over 15 years. He is also a regular keynote speaker at Korean Engineering Assemblies, NSC General Assemblies, numerous university convocation, lectures, Committee of Vice Chancellor conferences, and many other academic and technical speeches worldwide. I think he deserves another round of applause, including the World Science Forum, World Technopolis Association in South Korea, and UNECA conferences in Ethiopia. Engineer Bindir is happily married to a very beautiful wife, and they are blessed with 2 lovely children, a girl and a boy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I call him an excellent orator. We've been drawing from his wealth of knowledge since we arrived Borno yesterday. Engineer Usman, I'm sure you agree with me. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Dr. Umar Buba Bindir, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, Grand Mufti of Adamawa Emirate. A round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MC. You see, the advantage of coming here to make presentations after the 70 and 80-year-olds is that you have more time to prepare for your lecture while they're presenting. And so I'm very, very happy. My father, who was former minister, am I sharing my screen? IT people, let me share my screen quickly, please. I don't have time. Anyway, so first of all, let me very, very respectfully recognize His Excellency the Governor, represented by the Deputy Governor, and also Sheikh of Borno, represented by a senior council member, and then the other Sheikh, with apologies. I respectfully write on all existing protocols, and this is the guest lecture. I like my friend. What is it? You are sharing. I'm already sharing now. Okay, it's on the screen. Yes, sometimes technology will waste your time. As you heard, I am from Yola. Actually, when the MC mentioned he's a Fulani man, I thought half of this all will run out of this place, but I'm happy that they are now calm, and they're happy, and I'm impressed. And also, as you heard, my career ranges from academia, industry, civil service, politics. I was SSG. I fought with all these people that you can remember politically, so I know. But I can tell you, at the end of the day, I became a social entrepreneur, meaning I literally have an NGO. And so a few years ago, in the heart of Yola town, I initiated a social protection project. I sold everything I had, and I bought a very leftover house inherited by a lady because her father died. And I smashed this facility, and I built this. Everybody was wondering, is he building a mosque? Is he building a mall or whatever? But no, I put water there, borehole. I put a brand new generator there, put air conditioning to make it very comfortable. I put a visa to make sure that all my computers there are internet connected, and I registered the NGO, Bindir Knowledge Center. It is not a school, it is a knowledge center. So anybody who enters my center, if you get out, you will earn something that is technically improving you. So I made the facility my secretariat. In that secretariat, there's a big hall. And in that hall, I have 120 computers, all of them connected to the internet. And I used to, till today, for the last probably 5 to 7 years, take 100 children every single day into my center so that they can be able to be improved, knowledge-wise, free of charge. And this is boys and girls. They will interact with the computers. And I normally go to the civil service where there's a lot of wastage, old computers, 286, 386s. I get all of them as donations to my centers. These children will smash it open. They will see transistors. They will see resistors. They will see color coding. They will see hard drives. And by the time they go back to their parents, they will be telling their mothers, I have seen a hard drive. So before they even enter primary school, the teachers are already in trouble because of my center. But then, there are many of the daily activities there. We do all sorts of things. And it generated more interest. And I realized that just taking these children to teach them in my center was not enough. So I bought the next plot next to my center, and I established a sports facility. I was director of sports in Nigeria. And sports is one single sector that can put people together. When you're playing sports, it is about skills and enjoyment. They don't care whether you're a Christian or Muslim or male or female. And then all the communities and their children used to come to my center to play. I even painted one side of the wall. Every night when there's a ceremony, I used to have a cinema, because when I was growing up, there were cinemas that we used to go and watch at the Emir's Palace. So they used to enjoy it in my center free of charge. It encouraged me more, and I saw the outcomes. And therefore, I ventured into real out-of-school children and Al-Majiri project. And then I launched a very, very innovative project. I used to collect these children, bring them to the center. I realized that it's not enough. And then I went to the field. And I discovered something. This Al-Majiri education is very unique. You start at the age of 2, sometimes even 1. People like us who you are growing in a Malam's house. You are learning a foreign language. You are writing a foreign thing. And you are doing it at the age of 2 and 3. So I followed, I said, these children can do this. How come that people everywhere are saying that these are not intelligent, they are this, and that? So I went all to the Al-Majiri or the Malam schools. I studied it. And when I saw this picture, I took it in Katsina. And you see them, they are 12 years, 15 years. You see their shoes. If they are out of school, and I can tell you, they are on the streets too. They are looking at you. They know your cars. They know where you are going. They know when you travel, boys and girls. If you don't do anything in the next 10 years, those 12-year-olds will become 22. And then if you think Boko Haram is a problem, you don't know that this is really a time bomb. So I now looked for solutions. President Jonathan started an Al-Majiri schooling solution. Some of you may remember. I visited all of them. And this is it. When you go inside the Al-Majiri school, this is what you see. It has not changed. They're still sitting on the mat, using the allo. And I was there. I sat there reading the Quran, so all the children used to be surprised. So I standardized the allo. I studied the allo as an engineer. I selected a particular size. I took it to my house workshop. I have a small workshop in my house. I worked on it. And then I planted an iPad on the traditional allo. And then when I did that, I patented that technology so that when it is developed, somebody will not come. I know Chinese are here. They are very good at taking things and expanding it. So I patented it and I closed it. And then I went now to do real engineering. computer-aided design. I was a trainer. We went, I did the 3D drawing, I tried all sorts of models. I even traveled to China, it's very expensive. Tried all sorts of manufacturing techniques, and then all the models, and I'm happy to report that we even went to the field to see the prototype acceptability by the Malams, and today we have a digital allo that is actually working. I don't know why it is not coming. IT, the thing is all connected. Yeah, they are seeing flowers here. Yeah, so this now is a product. It costs $200. When $1 was 105 naira, it was still $200. Now $1 is 1,300. It is still $200. So what you do with your naira is your problem. Allo remains $200. You know? And then I don't understand why this is happening. Right? Oh, no, I'm still sharing my screen. There's no cable. It's wireless. It's over there. Anyway, I will just run through this. So I got Debanj to publish this, and he sang about it. But the ultimate goal of this project is actually to unleash the energy of knowledge within these almajiris, so that when you take the iPad on the allo will have the Quran, will have the hadith, but it will also have 1, 2, 3. It will have ABC. It is not just going to have that. It will have how to make tables, how to make chairs. It will have how to cook egusi, how to cook kuka, how to cook burabusko. Everything will be in that. Literally, if a child picks that iPad, you are giving him a full practical university. And I can tell you, in the next 20 years, by God's grace, if ACEN is looking for competent technocrats to work on your projects, you will look for an almajiri first, before you even look for, that's my target. So, today, I want to very, very briefly talk to you about a project. And I believe that because you are in Maiduguri, you are facing the government, you are facing the traditional rulers, right? And the project is titled Homegrown Engineering-Based Recovery Initiative for the Northeast. This region, the Northeast, is slowing Nigeria down. Engineers cannot continue calling themselves consulting engineers, and then there's a whole region of 6 states and many others pulling the country back, and then you are just continue to claim, well, like my father said, the definition of you know it all and you how to do it all. And I want to pass this proposal to ACEN. Now, the recovery I'm talking about is that we have suffered from the effect of insurgency and other insecurity issues. And if you want to know what foreigners think about us as far as insecurity is concerned, when you want to come and invest in Nigeria, from the Foreign Commonwealth Office in the UK, they give you this map. You want to go to Nigeria, please study this map. Anywhere you see red, don't go there, they are killing themselves. They will kill you. And you can see in 2017, there's a tiny red dot in Zamfara there, and then the Northeast has the highest. Then the amber or yellowish advises you that don't go to these areas unless it is critically important, unless if your mother is dying. The green is the best. It says still come back to us. We will advise you more of what is happening there. So our country actually is a very dangerous country for people to come. And that is why they are very selective in investment. This was 2017. By 2023, the map, what is the IT doing like this now? Anyway, by 2023, this is the map. The Northeast, even the green patches in the Northeast has disappeared. It means more insecurity. The red dot in Zamfara State has now gone down to Kaduna.